It is now my pleasure to introduce the Dean of the University of Connecticut School of Law, Timothy Fisher.
Thank you, Dean Chill. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 93rd commencement of the University of Connecticut School of Law. We're graced by the presence of many distinguished guests this morning, and I'd like to introduce and welcome those seated with me on the platform. In the back row, on your right, are Mr. Vincent P. Pace, JD class of 1998, LLM class of 2009, and president of the University of Connecticut School of Law Alumni Association. Mr. Thomas D. Ritter, class of 1977, vice chairman of the University of Connecticut Board of Trustees. Mr. Richard T. Carbre, Jr., trustee of the University of Connecticut. Professor Jeremy McLean, associate professor of law, Cornelius J. Scanlon Research Scholar, and recipient of the Perry Zirkel Class of 76 Distinguished Teaching Award. Ms. Lisa Dar Rodino, registrar, and Mr. Robert Birmingham, professor of law and mace bearer. In the front row, from your right, Mr. Paul Chill, class of 1985, associate dean for clinical and experiential education, clinical professor of law and commencement marshal. Mr. Lawrence D. McHugh, chair of the University of Connecticut Board of Trustees. Dr. Susan Herbst, president of the University of Connecticut. The Honorable Christopher F. Droney, judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit, our distinguished speaker for today's ceremony and recipient of the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. And Ms. Darcy Kirk, associate dean for academic affairs, associate dean for library and technology, professor of law, and law marshal. Welcome, class in 2016. What a wonderful day. You did it. You've worked hard and you've earned this moment, and today we celebrate you for everything you've done to get here. But it's not just you who deserve praise. Your families, your partners, your friends have all supported you through the trying times that you've traversed. You and we owe them a tremendous thanks for making it possible for you to be here today. So consider all that you've been through, the shock and awe of first semester, the late nights in the library, the cold calls in class. But look what you have to show for it. You've mastered a new way of thinking and an ability to explain solutions to complex problems with clarity and conviction. So now you're ready to make a difference in the world. And just think of the things you've done already. You've taught students in the Hartford high schools. You've resolved tax problems for low-income families. You've prepared estate plans for senior citizens, represented nonprofits in their business deals, conducted food drives for refugee families. You've counseled rape victims and mediated employment discrimination disputes. You've obtained patents and trademarks for local inventors. You conducted a water drive for the people of Flint, Michigan. You've clerked for judges. You've staffed the legislature and state agencies. You've conducted fundraising for student service projects. You've written a new zoning ordinance for the city of Hartford. And you spent a week in a federal detention center helping immigrants facing deportation to places that put their lives at risk. What an amazing set of accomplishments, and that's beyond just the work inside your classrooms. Well, you're going to continue this great tradition of service in your careers, which is a crucial part of what it means to be a lawyer, to give a voice to the powerless, because the rule of law cannot obtain its full meaning unless it's available to the weak and the vulnerable, just as it is to the rich and the powerful. We hope that as you leave this campus, you'll keep these principles close to your hearts. So, what is it that makes this such a great profession? Not just the pay, not just the prestige, although prestige it will bring you. Rather, it is because when we think about the places on earth that are the worst places and the best places to live, we see that the difference between them is the law. whether the law is present and working, and whether it is making those places both safe and fair. So there's no limit to what you can do with what you've learned here. And there's no better investment of time and money that you'll ever make in your work lives. And this is possible because during your time with us, you've transformed yourselves from students into professionals. Before you arrived, you got ahead mostly by learning what teachers told you. But here at the law school, you've learned to think critically for yourselves. And where you're heading, that is the value that you will bring. For clients won't need you when the answers to their problems are straightforward. They'll come to you when the simple answers don't solve their problems. That's when your UConn Law School education will pay its dividends. And this is especially true for those of you who come to UConn from countries far away. We required not only that you learn new laws and work in a new language, but also in what has for most of you been a very different classroom culture, where it's not only allowed but encouraged to ask challenging questions of the professor, and you're graded not on whether you memorized your professor's opinions, but rather on whether you can think critically for yourself as you navigate a complex problem. All of you will be taking these new modes of learning with you when you leave. They will serve you well in this ever more global community, and how fortunate that you all have been to be able to build your network of international friends and colleagues here in these classrooms. The path ahead won't be easy. There will be moments, usually unannounced, that will test your character. Those moments and the way you handle them will be the markers by which others most remember you. Take heed when those moments come. The power that the law invests in you is seductive. For in the process of making you experts in giving reasons, we have also made you experts in rationalization, using verbal skill and clever argument to justify conduct or a position. You'll be pressed, of course, to provide these rationalizations for your clients, but more dangerously, you'll feel a powerful urge to use them to excuse your own conduct. These moments are certain to come, and you'll be vulnerable to them. Please resist. Each time you succumb to an ethical shortcut, you diminish yourself a bit more, and this is the great risk that you've assumed in acquiring the power that you've acquired here. You must count on your family and close friends to keep you grounded. But for now, you should all revel for a moment in your accomplishments. Class of 2016, we salute you and we congratulate you, for we have enjoyed you tremendously, and we hope you've enjoyed us. Not just the teachers who have taught you so much, but the staff who have cared for you in so many ways that you know and so many others that you couldn't even see. And let me pause here to give a special thanks to the facilities team and their supporting staff. It is thanks to them that we have this beautiful campus and this magnificent event today. And also to the staff team that worked so tirelessly over the months up to today to make possible this complex choreographed ceremony. Donna Gianfrido, Deb King, Lisa Rodino, and Rosa Serrano, thank you so much, guys. I also want to acknowledge several members of our outstanding faculty who are retiring this year. Robert Whitman, Lou Kurlandzik, Rick Kay, and Jim Stark. Gentlemen. You four have given us over 170 years of combined years of teaching, guiding generations of students, creating scholarship and other work that has built our law school's reputation nationally and internationally. And in particular, I want to acknowledge Professor Robert Whitman, who has completed 50 years on our faculty. Thank you. Thank you, Bob, for everything you've done for us and our students over the years. Students, we're going to miss you. Remember, Stay in touch with us. That'll be easier now because you have elected a class secretary. Hats off to Eleni Koutoumanis. Come back. Share your insights and experiences with us, for you will always be part of our community. And in fact, this is just the start of our relationship. That's why we call it commencement. You've received this education thanks to the generosity of others who provided this campus and this community of scholars and teachers for you. Your chance is coming now to make a difference, to pay it forward to the next generation, each of you in your own way. So, Class of 2016, the faculty of the University of Connecticut School of Law and I acknowledge and honor the hard work you've done to reach this moment. We wish you all the best in the wonderful days and years ahead.